Center Peoria. We are really excited that you are here, not because we know anything about you, but because we know the story of this place. Literally since day one, this place has been founded by and has grown as small groups of people come alongside us, groups of people who simply have a heart for this city. And today, more than ever, we're able to step into new needs as new individuals and new groups come alongside us. So come on inside, there's a lot to check out, but we want to show you what happens here at Dream Center Peoria. So here at Dream Center, our mission is to impact families living in poverty, starting with kids and youth. And on a daily basis, that means that we're really doing one of three activities, three pillars. The first one being outreach, things like Backpack Peoria and Promise of Hope, where we're going out into the city and just serving the poor and broken. The second one is youth development, where every day we've got 70 kids that are part of an after-school program. And the third pillar is basic human needs. But the common thread between all of those things is kids. From day one, we've seen that kids are the ones that are impacted most by poverty. Kids had the least to do with the circumstances that led them to it. But the good news is that with kids, we see a ton of hope. If we can just surround them and be something consistent in their life, we can not just put a Band-Aid on the situation, but permanently change the direction of their life. So everything you see here is going to have a kid focus. So this is the Hope Store, where we are clothing about 900 people a month. It is a totally free clothing store, 100% donation based and run by volunteers. Great place for individuals to start volunteering, even for kids to come and volunteer as a family. But also a good example of Dream Center's core values, which are dignity, compassion, and purpose. Even when somebody's here and they're down and out, we try to go over the top and just show them love. And then in addition to our Career Center, or in addition to our Hope Store, this is our Career Center, which is a by appointment only clothing store where people can come once they have an interview set up or a job and get work-specific clothing. We just found, our volunteers found, that getting work-specific clothes out in the Hope Store just wasn't the right setting, and that if we could do a by appointment only, gave us a chance one-on-one to get to know the person, pour into their life, and to really, again, go over the top and treat them not based on their circumstances, not based on where they are, but based on where they're going. On any given day, we've got over 70 kids that are part of an after-school program. 2:30 to 5:30. We have 4 locations throughout town that we go and pick up. We drive them all home individually, which means we get a chance to meet the parents, know the home life, and what this ends up being is family to the kids. That's our goal. The one thing they're missing is something consistent in their life, and that's what we try to be. The last thing they need is a program to be part of for a month or a year. So we try to be family to them. Since day one, in addition to providing just a safe place, we've wanted to do skill developments. Down in our basement is full of arts programs where we're teaching dance, music, painting, photography, just a way to engage with our kids. When we can engage with the kids and connect on their interest level, then we can build relationship. And when we have relationship, then we can talk about faith and we can build character. All right, so if you're trying to keep track of what this used to be like in the YMCA days, these were the old racquetball courts, and this studio right now is being finished up. This will be home base for our t-shirt printing business, our 3D printing, our casting and foundry, as well as robotics and electrical circuits. The idea, especially with the screen printing, is it doesn't mean kids are gonna go into that business full time, but think about the basic things a middle school kid is learning, how to show up on time, work ethic, important things. And this is still the best. This is where it all started. This is our motorcycle repair and auto mechanic shop. It all started about a year and a half ago with a young man named Isaiah. Our bus driver was driving him home, and Grandma really pleaded with him and said, man, Isaiah's making some bad choices, whatever you guys can do to help him. So our bus driver comes back and shares that little nugget with one of our volunteers who happens to be an engineer at Caterpillar. The next day he brings in his motorcycle and starts working with Isaiah and finds that this young man just comes alive, that he's got a talent. And really pretty organically, a year later, it turns into a half a dozen kids with a half a dozen volunteers who are all now coming alive as we work through this job skill program. So this is one of two of our gyms, and this is really a great place to talk about our second pillar of activity, which is community outreach. This is the stuff that perhaps we're the most well known for. It's things where we're going out into the city and just serving people right where they are, right where they're at. It's things like Backpack Peoria, giving out 2,500 backpacks a year. It's things like Promise of Hope, which happens right here, and just a great example of the dignity, compassion, and purpose, where we're not just giving out prom dresses to young women that would otherwise not get to go to prom, but this is a chance to just love on them, to show them that their value isn't based just on their circumstances or where they live, but it's based on how God sees them, how we see them. All right, so welcome to our shelter. This is our third pillar of activity. On any given night, we've got over 100 people that are living here who would otherwise be homeless. Well, with over 120,000 square feet, there was a lot to see, a lot that's going on every day, but at the end of the day, this is all based on just a really simple heart, a heart for people, and based around the idea of finding a need and filling it. If you feel like you want to be part of this in any way, I just encourage you that you don't need to have the answers. You don't need to feel like you have the solutions. Just come and get close to poverty, get close with us. And as you get close to people like we have, you'll start to see needs and you can start meeting them.